Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. No, you're doing it right. I'm just curious about
You just until 3 p.m. Sorry, I was on camera. I'll do it.
My name.
Cool. We have all levels, but many people here.
right now, I'm actually doing my job. I was looking for a job and I was like, I don't really want to work with someone. I don't quite understand. Trying to learn more about stuff like this. Yeah. I got savings for a little while.
Hi guys. Thank you everyone for coming. Before starting, I would like to welcome in. Yeah, we just started. We haven't missed anything. I would like to thank Eyal for hosting us and giving us this beautiful event. Introduce yourself.
Sure, I'll say two words. Hey everyone, my name is Eyal Peled. I'm a partner here at Greenberg Charig. We're a US law firm. I'm originally from Israel. So my practice focuses on early stage companies. Most of them happen to be from Israel. Met with Amit a while ago. He's a very nice guy, and I'm happy to support him in this effort today. And I hope you'll have a fruitful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I know we have all type of levels of the developers, and we have marketing teams, right? We have non-tech at all. You have studio. Do you guys want to tell me before we starting? Have you experienced? Who here have heard about n8n? Okay. n8n. Okay. Who have tried building a workflow automation? Perfect. Who have tried building an AI agent? Okay, so about the same people. Who is a developer? Not a minute. Perfect. So let's keep it simple. So before starting, no AI agent, it sounds a big word for many people. It's actually not that complicated, and you don't need to be a developer in order to build an AI agent. There are many softwares that let you build AI agents without knowing a single line of code. I will show you here today. I will talk today about workflows in general, the traditional workflows we had before AI. And then we have AI agents. This is a new level of workflows. Hi, welcome in. It's a little bit upgrade from the traditional workflows. After that, we'll talk about n8n, which is one of the most advanced, but still relatively simple no-code platform to build workflows and AI agents. And then about the prototype is FlowEngine, which let you deploy the workflows in a very simple way, also to build the workflow from natural text. Okay. So this is the agenda today. So let's talk about the difference between workflow automation and AI agents. How workflow automation work? It's basically if then. We have a problem we want to solve. So for example, we have too many emails coming in and we want to find which emails are invoices, for example. So we make a very simple rule. Every time you find the word invoice in my email, categorize it and put it in my Google Drive. Okay, this is a very simple rule. What is the problem with it? This is how it's been working before with traditional workflows. The problem is very clear. If, for example, we got an invoice, but the name is not explicitly invoice, it will not go to my Google Drive. Okay, and now we're going through more complicated rules. We want to recognize buying intentions, for example, for everyone in marketing. We want to recognize everything related to some to a specific field or a specific buying intention for a specific product. We need AI to understand the context. We need more complicated rules than if-then logic. Okay. So continuing with the example of monitoring the inbox. So in traditional workflow, we will monitor the inbox, check for keywords, extract the PDF, and save to the drive. Okay. This is how a simple workflow like this will look like in n8n. Okay. So it's basically a simple drag and drop interface. You can trigger Gmail and extract the attachment and then save it to the drive. Okay. Now we're moving forward to AI agents. What's special about AI agents? We have a context understanding. So if we take the same problem and implement it with AI agent, we have the node with the agent, and we can give it a user prompt. We're basically giving it simple guide, what's your goal, what you need to do, and we're giving it tools. Every tool, it's an access it has, and the AI agent itself will decide whether it wants to use the tools or not. So when we make more complicated agents, we can give it dozens of tools, and we name them properly. This is also an important part in order for the AI agent to understand what tools, when to use them and when not. We need to properly name every node, every tool, so it knows what the purpose of each tool and when to use it and when not. Okay. After we have the trigger, we have the processing by the AI agent, and then we return the results to somewhere. And then we have multi-agent workflows. This is a little bit more advanced. I'm not expecting you to build anything with multi-agent today. There are about 3 measure structure of building multi-agent. The idea is basically to break down big tasks into smaller tasks. AI obviously has a very limited context window and gets very confused when you give it too many tasks. So what we do in multi-agent system, we give every agent a small task that this is all its purpose. All your purpose is to categorize the invoices. And the first one, your goal is to find the invoices in your email. Okay. And same as with the tools, we can build AI agents that are also sort of a tool. And the main AI agent, for example, the planner, can decide which agents we need to use and which not. Okay. Moving forward. What's n8n? n8n is a no-code automation platform. It's one of the most simple way, but advanced, as I said before, to build automation. We have a simple drag and drop platform that we can use thousands of integrations. If we use, as I showed before, In this case, you have Gmail and Drive. These are pretty simple workflows, but when you want to integrate more complicated things like CRMs, social platforms, we have thousands of integrations, so it makes it very useful. And every time you don't have a dedicated node, we don't have a dedicated integration, we can always use webhooks. Again, I'm a little bit touching more advanced topic here. Webhook means that you have a specific link by this node, and you can send, trying to make it in the most simple way. No, some software supporting webhooks that you get the webhook from n8n and you paste it inside the software that is not supported by n8n, and then they know to talk to each other. The problem is that you don't have the same capabilities of using directly with a specific pre-made node. Okay. Another self-hostable. Okay, there are still challenges, although it's simple to drag and drop system. Installation, if you want to self-host it, it's sort of complicated still. Then to start or to build the workflow, you still need to drag and drop. It still takes time. And then for many more complicated and advanced workflows, you will still need to code. There is, for example, if you saw before, extract attachment, this is a coded node. You need a very simple JSON here, but it's still, for some people, it makes it sort of more complicated. And here is when FlowEngine coming. FlowEngine come to, the idea of FlowEngine was to simplify dragging and drop and letting the user build nodes without coding them by themselves. So you use a simple chart. I can show you a quick demo. That will be the best way. So you write in natural text what you want to build, and FlowEngine will build the workflow for you. It's not perfect. You will still need to, here you can see the workflow. So in this case, I ask it for, you can see here, I ask it create an intelligent meeting scheduling workflow. So every time, let's see. So I send it an event I want, and then I schedule it in the Google Calendar and in other calendars. And I give it to AI agent to process it so it can understand natural language. For example, I tell him, please set me up tomorrow with John at 5 p.m. and it will create the whole event and the whole description and the Google Meet if need. So it's convert natural language into an organized event. Okay. And it's also send a reminder in the email, so you can set set of emails to be sent. So this all being created by AI. I didn't have to drag and drop anything. And now with one click, we can deploy it in the cloud. So this is also part of the platform. So in order to use the self-hosted n8n, it takes a couple of hours and you need some a little bit more of advanced knowledge to build a self-hosted n8n account. It also does this for you. You simply click on deploy and it sends it to your dedicated n8n self-hosted account. Okay.
That's a good question. I mean,
Yeah, right now. Yeah, we're done with the demo, so start building. Yeah, questions.
Just because I'm into this. So you start with FlowEngine with the prompt, right? You show also, so there's two parts. You also showed the prompt and you also showed on the right, the flow, like the
Yes.
flow. So did you build the flow first and then the prompt, or is the flow something you built?
No,
FlowEngine?
right. So this is the magic. You write the prompt and it builds the workflow
the
for you.
workflow.
Yeah, I did. So if you look here at the demo again, I simply wrote what I want to build. This is the only thing I wrote.
Wow.
The text here. Okay.
And the part where it connects to your Gmail or to your LinkedIn or whatever it is.
Right. So this is the main challenge. So it builds everything for you, but you need to integrate your own integrations. Why? It's a security issue. It's still a big challenge, and actually, this is most of the work.
So,
Okay.
and the connection part is happening in n8n or?
in n8n. So once we import it, we click here on copy. We click here, copy and import to n8n. Okay, once we click on it, it's redirect us to the n8n instance. And then you need to integrate your own Google account, LLM. You also need to use your own GPT. I shared a couple of guides to do it because it's not the most simple thing to do. This is the most complicated thing you will be doing today. Everything else, it's already configured and ready for you. So here, this is how it looks in n8n. You will have to click where you see the red triangles. Each one of them means you need to add your own credentials, okay? If you want to use this node, you will have to use your own credentials. What you simply do, you double click on the node and then you add your own API key. How you obtain your own API key? I shared a couple of guides here for Google and OpenAI, okay? If you want different integration, you can Google it. There are tons of guides out there. You basically usually go to the API tab under every product you use. For example, Google, you will go to API, you obtain an API key, and you copy paste it into n8n.
You guys have templates? Like I can collect my vision of here with the templates I can use.
Pre-made workflow templates. Yes. So n8n themselves has about 6,000 templates that they share. Can you see? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you go to n8n, I will share the QR code of the workflows library. There's open feature where you can share your own workflow under FlowEngine, but there are not that many workflows there now. So yeah, you definitely want to use the n8n library. It's called that community library for n8n.
I would just need to add my APIs.
Yes. So you copy, paste it, and then you add your own APIs.
Got it.
Okay.
There's two questions I have. One, when you build a agentic workflow, there's a lot of edge cases that you cannot get it at one go. How do you deal with iterations? How do you make sure that 70% of the cases already resolved? But what about the rest 30%? What about the rest 5%? What about the rest 1%? Edge cases.
How do we deal with the edge cases?
Yeah.
Okay, so one method a little bit more overhead than what we expect to talk about, but you can build another workflow under the main workflow that handle bugs or handle edge cases. Okay, you obviously will not cover 100% of the cases, but this is the way to deal with bugs. Some common way to do, for example, bug handling is to trigger bug. While we'll be working, I will share some stuff on the screen how I build in live some n8n workflow, and I will show you. So there is a trigger called bug report or bug, something like this, and once you have a bug, you send it to your Slack, for example, or to your email. Okay, and then you manually go to wherever you need and you handle it. Second question.
The question is, how does the cost compare this to ChatGPT with their agentic work builder?
So ChatGPT does not have that much.
ChatGPT can actually generate agentic file just like this.
Right. You can try to do it. It doesn't have as much context as a dedicated chat has. Okay. You can try to do ChatGPT. Show me if you got a good result. I will go with Claude, by the way. Claude is much better than ChatGPT. Claude with MCPs will give you a pretty good job, but it's still not as good because it doesn't validate the workflows. So the main problem we had here that I was trying to solve, it was the validation. You have to run multiple validations to make sure that the workflow is built well. Okay, but it's context and validation. Yeah.
What about like in terms of cost? Like how much more am I paying for the added value that you guys provide?
It's a direct API from Claude. So it's the same cost as using Cloud API.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so follow up with this question. In your example, I didn't see anything about code node like JavaScript or Python. If there are specific use cases you wanted to mention in the prompt, or I can do it?
So the prompt will recognize automatically when there is no dedicated node. And then it will decide whether to use a dedicated code node or the verified node. It will always prioritize an existing integration if they have, and if not, it will use code. Okay, and it will build it for you. So the workflow I shared, I built it with FlowEngine,
Mhm.
and he decided to use the invoice extractor as a node, as a JSON. Who wants to?
You answer. It's okay.
I answered. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So let's get started. We'll go. I will. I'm here for any question. I will try to introduce some things on the screen later. You have the FlowEngine QR code over there. You have $5 tokens using build. So follow the guide. It's pretty simple. Go to FlowEngine, sign up, go to settings, click on $5 top up, and apply this code. Okay, then you can go to the chat. You can build the workflow, and then when you go to the tab My n8n account, you can access your account. You need to set up your email, full name, and password for n8n separately because it's your own instance. It's not part of FlowEngine, but it is.
How do you actually talk to n8n? Like, how is your platform talk to n8n?
Yeah, so the whole idea of n8n is it's open source, which means you can copy paste it into different VPS. So I can take n8n and install it on my computer.
Mhm.
Okay. The downside of installing it on your computer, it takes time. You need to, when you want to talk to external websites, you will need to install SSL, and your computer will always have to be on.
Yeah.
This is why I use VPS in this case. So I have a virtual computer, virtual machine that it's always on, and it's a server. Okay, so
But it's running my instance. I'm on the.
it's running your instance in your account on my cloud. Okay, so this you can access it to under my n8n account. Just activate your account and it's all in. Let me check if there are questions on Drive. Any questions from the?
Like, in what area are you guys? Do you guys have like region?
Sorry.
In what area do you guys have like technical limitations?
What do you mean?
Like, the build in terms of delivering value, like, what are your technical like limitations? What's the limit of this? This API that
Is that all?
Okay, logging in.
The limitation of what API?
let's say, you angle your whole value that you deliver to user is, are you basically build from end to end their AI workflow, right? But what about like, what are the things that you cannot do or you struggle to do well? In what scenario does it break?
Scenario of a specific workflow, you mean?
In what scenario does your solution break?
My what break?
Your solution, FlowEngine.
It's sometimes not as good. It's not as good sometimes in choosing the right triggers. This is something that was fast. This is something I'm still working on. And what else? More complicated workflows. Although when you use the boost mode, it usually give you a better result. It's a pro feature. But yeah, usually when it's more complicated workflows, you might want to do a few different prompts and build it up. But yeah, it's a good way to start. It doesn't replicate yet. So you still need the brain to.
And you mentioned there's multiple workflow you can build. How do you evaluate which workflow is more efficient, which workflow is not as good? How do you assess the best workflow that you come up with?
You at some point. Okay, so common sense. You see the workflow. You need to play a little bit around with n8n to start having better understanding about how a good workflow look like and how a bad workflow look like. Once you play around with it, you will understand what's fair, what's not. But the best way is just to simply add your own credentials and run it, and then try to understand if it's good or not. You can debug it one by one, start running the workflow, and see when it's got stuck, and then you need to jump in and replace the node. Or,
I guess what I'm trying to say here is like, when you develop all this, workflow, might be nice to have a console. This console
Yeah.
evaluates all your connectivities, evaluates all your agent performance, delivery, proficient, So it's like a standardized way to evaluate how efficient your result is.
yeah, there is a debug console in n8n. Okay, there is a debug mode. So when you start, I will go and I will show you some cool stuff, how you can debug the workflow, and then you have a console which tells you exactly what you need to look at. Okay, this part of n8n. This is so everything related to execution. It's n8n.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For beginner. Okay, I did the first step and then the second step. Now I'm in front of start from scratch or test a simple AI in an example.
Okay.
Like start from scratch or test an AI example in the, and yeah,
Start from scratch. Are you in FlowEngine?
yeah.
Okay, you go to the chat.
Sorry,
Yeah, are you in the chat?
there's like overview, workflow, credentials, executions. That's the tab I'm in. I can share my screen, but I don't know where. Mhm.
Nah, I'm not sure how to share a screen.
No, no, it's okay.
No, so this is n8n, and you start here. So you go to the AI flow,
You
yeah,
did that, okay.
and then once you build your own
Okay.
link, you do copy and to n8n, and then
Thank you.
redirect you back to them. All right, let's get started. So we'll stop sharing here, and do you guys want to share what you're planning to build, or just?
I want to build like a workflow that can automatically generate AI short videos and then publish to TikTok and Instagram and Reno. But I don't know how many components are there.
Okay, so so actually I happen to see a similar workflow. It's a very complicated one, so I would not suggest you to use FlowEngine for that. Let me share with you a workflow I found for this. It used Nano Banana, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will share it with you. It's super complicated workflow.
So
The open AI guide, the API.
I
What about
the
it? What is the
Google
API comes with?
model, the Google video.
I think you should ask.
Gemini
Gemini
model.
is smarter.
When does the API guide
Maybe
part
it's a little
come
bit
to play?
costly.
It is.
Like a good step.
This
Is it
system
at the end or is it?
Like the way, like, I mean, I was doing directly in the editing
Yeah, there are
software now, but I think
These are very complicated, so there are a few
node
templates.
and then you enter the visualizing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I'm assuming that's
What
probably
the-
the case.
So the API, what the credentials will be in the API guide?
okay, so honestly, I don't use n8n as much. Yeah, I use actual code usually, and then for other things, I was already,
Presentation, the slide.
I have many automations running.
So what
but
build the
not
flow,
really
do the,
Yeah, because most
you
of
have to
them I
make
was
something to copy into n8n.
doing more than a year ago.
Click on the triangle,
So
and fill in credentials.
like I exposed myself
There's
to
also,
n8n.
like there's connecting OpenAI day by day. What I do,
Not
what is that?
unfortunately. So it's more, this is a mindset problem. This is not a workflow problem. This is a problem when
Information.
Okay.
everyone knows this problem. You're very busy with something and you don't pay attention.
There's a processor,
The
right?
same task over and over again.
Yeah.
And every time you say, okay, I have only 1 hour now, I will just spend the time to do the task rather than spending 7 hours now because I don't have 7 hours to start. But this is how we do it all the time.
That's the reason that the library of the interesting.
Think about.
Understand better, other ideas people use.
Right, so going around, okay, I will share the,
This text.
yeah, what is the QR code there for the templates? Minutes and I will send you.
I really understand.
Perfect. I will still show you. But right, looking around the template, this is the best way
Like, at which step is it, like after I finish with n8n or is it?
It's within 8
Within it.
That allows you to one step that makes sense using the brain. One step might be
needs to be generated
condensing the
from
information.
image.
Then use the brain again.
So you want to give it
Start with the
image
steps
and
and
then
once I get.
the AI will convert it into a video? Yeah,
You
it's
need to
possible.
go to Brain,
Yeah,
right?
okay. I
You start
will.
with the webhook. Maybe let's say,
Let me just.
maybe let's say like I do a webhook somewhere, like webhook is basically
Hi guys,
a
from
channel
the
that
line.
delivers
I will start the
or the gap
recording
that
now.
you-
Do you have any questions before?
I connect, I take invoices from my email
So,
to
thank
somewhere.
you.
Yeah,
For
that'll be a webhook to grab that email.
Yes, I think.
So webhook is to grab that email. You know, to grab like a.
I'm learning the terminology. of
Wait,
this.
Amit, I have a question.
Yes.
Done.
So, no, no, no.
Okay.